Here come our entries for our first heat of the afternoon. Out in front, sporting the number 1 saddle pad, Something Royal owned by Mr. Edward Roker, being driven today by Miss Andrea Westerfield. With the number 2 saddle pad is Rock On out of the Hang'em stables, being driven today by our rookie, Mr. Kelsey Durham. And on the outside, sporting the number 3 saddle pad, the Trotter, Just Like That, out of the Graceland stables, being driven today by Mr. Ryan King. This is for the 110-1 and slower division time bar. Okay, our stock car has now collected our 3 entries for our first heat of the afternoon. 3 ponies up and 3 ponies out, and a very respectable start for our first start of the day. Out of the first turn they come, and it is the real pony, Something Royal, getting chased down by Rock On, but here comes the Trotter, Just Like That, winding on the outside, making a bid to try and catch up with the front runner, the pace setter, Something Royal, as they head into paddock turn. And down the backstretch they go, Something Royal on the inside, Just Like That, still gambling on the outside, with Rock On now chasing the front runners into Hang'em High turn. Running 1, 3, and 2 as they come out of the Simsfield turn is still Something Royal. Setting the pace up over the Trotter, Just Like That, who settles in behind. Rock On off by a half now, chasing the front runners across us here on Spectator's turn. Around paddock turn and down the backstretch they go for the final time in this heat. Something Royal giving herself a bit of breathing room now, out in front by 1 full length and growing over the Trotter, Just Like That. Back another length and a half to Rock On, who chases the field. Out of the 4th turn and down the home stretch they come. From wire to wire, Something Royal over Just Like That and Rock On. That is unofficial. Driven today by his son, Mr. Ryan Manders. With the number 2 saddle pad, Black and Mile, out of the Graceland stables, being driven today by Mr. Zeno Cooper. With the number 3 saddle pad, it's Pastor Paul, owned by Mr. David Lopes, and being driven today by his grandson, Mr. Tyler Lopes. And on the outside, sporting the number 4 saddle pad, Inwood's Progress, out of the Inwood stables, of course, and being driven today by Miss Candace Margins. 4 ponies up behind the start card, a bit of a staggered start nonetheless. Let's sort them out as they come out of the first turn. And the rail pony, that a touch of red, is the pace setter as Black and Mile settles in behind, being pushed along now, everyone by Pastor Paul. Inwood's Progress chasing the field off by a quarter. Running as they started 1, 2, 3, and 4 as they go down the backstretch, heading into the Hang'em High turn. It's a touch of red, the pace setter, holding a lot of traffic behind him. Indian file as they head around the Hang'em High turn. Out of the 4th turn they come. It's still a touch of red. Now with Pastor Paul, first to tip to the outside, going with him now is Black and Mile, both making a bid on the outside, with Inwood's Progress still chasing the field. Around paddock turn and down the backstretch they go, a touch of red on the inside. There goes Pastor Paul. That is Black and Mile going around now to get out in front of a touch of red. Pastor Paul still trying to gamble on the outside, with Inwood's Progress chasing. But down through the wire, out of the 4th turn, it's Black and Mile over a touch of red with Pastor Paul and Inwood's Progress. And here come our entries for heat number 3 of the afternoon. This is a combined heat. Out in front, sporting the number 1 saddle pad, racing in their own time bar, Skyway Majestic, out of the Simsfield stables, being driven this afternoon by Mr. Kaiwan Waldron. He's racing in the 105 to 106 and 1 division time bar. In the 106 and 2 to 107 and 1 B division time bar is Inwood's Generation, with the number 2 saddle pad, owned by the Truin family and being driven today by Mr. Casey Truin. And on the outside, sporting the number 3 saddle pad, Park Ranger, owned by Mr. Edward Roke, and being driven today by Miss Andrea Westerfield. Okay, our stock car has now collected our 3 entries for this heat number 3 of the afternoon. 3 ponies up and 3 ponies out. Let's sort them out as they come out of the first turn. And that rail pony, Skyway Majestic, of course, the faster pony out in front, already by half a mark now over Inwood's Generation, with Park Ranger pushing the whole field into paddock turn and down the backstretch they go. Skyway Majestic out in front by a quarter over Inwood's Generation. Park Ranger back another quarter as they head into the Hang'em High turn. It was Generation and Park Ranger hanging in with Skyway Majestic for the moment as they come out of the Simsfield turn. Skyway Majestic now opening up a bit of breathing room, has grown one full length lead now over Inwards Generation, with Park Ranger still trailing the field into paddock turn, and down the backstretch they go. Skyway Majestic still out in front by one full length over Inwards Generation, who's still hanging in. Losing ground to the front runners is Park Ranger, who's off by 5 out of the 4th turn. And down the home stretch they come. It's Skyway Majestic bringing with them Inwards Generation, and here comes Park Ranger to close out the field. And here come our entries for heat number 4 of the afternoon, heat number 7 on your race card. On the rails, pulling the number 1 saddle pad is Costa the Dragon, owned by Mr. Andy Stoneham, being driven today by Miss Andrea Westerfield. And on the outsides, pulling the number 2 saddle pad, Real Patrol, owned by Jennifer Howard and Jason and Ashley Patterson, and being driven this afternoon by Mr. Cameron Harris. This is for the 104 to 104 and 4 division time bar. Okay, our star car has now collected our 2 entries for this heat number 4 of the afternoon. Number 7 on your race card, 2 ponies up and 2 ponies out. Let's sort them out as they come out of the first turn. Costa the Dragon getting a very good jump over Real Patrol as they come out of the first turn. Costa the Dragon out in front by 2 marks now as they come across us here for the first time on Spectator's turn. Into paddock turn and down the backstretch they go. Costa the Dragon stretching it out to 3.5 now as they blaze down the backstretch, heading into the Hingham High turn. Out of the Simsfield turn they come. It's still Costa the Dragon. Real Patrol still off by 3, chasing on as they come across us again on Spectator's turn. Into paddock turn and down the backstretch for the final time in this heat. It's still Costa the Dragon maintaining a 3-length lead now. Real Patrol turning the cylinders on a bit, closing it just a bit to 2.5 as they come out of the 4th turn and down the home stretch. But it will be from wire to wire with green socks on fire for Costa the Dragon over Real Patrol, who better came in with a baseball slide there. Well done, Cameron. Well done.